Hello YouTube, Super Quicksor here, and you probably knew that because guess what? I got an intro, so you saw my name a couple of seconds ago on your screen, and I'm so happy to have an intro because it makes me feel just a little bit more official. So, without further ado, let us jump into this Masked Hero deck profile. And Masked Heroes have actually been fairly competitive in the OCG and pretty competitive in the TCG. And the Mass Change spell has actually made Elemental Heroes a very playable deck right now. And this is just my variant of it. So let us dive in. We only run one Neosalius in this deck. You only need one. He's a vanilla card. He's just your light attribute Mass Change target. And he's really nice because Blaze Man is a thing now. And he becomes a Blaze Man target. So you basically have two light attribute monsters in the deck for your Kogas and your Shinings. Next, we run Double Tin Goldfish, and I know that seems weird, but a lot of OCG lists have been running it, and I decided to experiment with it a little bit. And it being a water attribute actually helps a lot because it makes Absolute Zero a 3,000 points attacker, which can actually make a pretty big difference, especially with the 3 Bubble Man as well, also being the water attribute. And he basically does the same job as Goblinberg. And speaking of Goblinberg, we run one. And I dropped the second Goblinberg for the 10 Goldfish to run 2. So that's just my choice. You could run the triple Goblinberg, double Goblinberg, whatever you want to do. But I personally like, so far, the 10 Goldfish because of the water attribute. And then we have the new guy, Elemental Hero Blaze Man. When he is summoned, you can search your deck for polymerization and put it into your hand. And during your main phase, you can send a hero from your deck to the graveyard for him to gain the attribute, attack, and defense stats of the sent monster. Except for the rest of the turn, you can only special summon fusion monsters, which is fine because that's all you want to do anyways. You want to mass change and everything. You can only activate one of his effects per turn, so if you search Poly, you can't dump a hero, and if you dump a hero, you can't search Poly, which is fine because you want to do one or the other. You really never want to do both because there's no reason to do both. And he also helps with the effect of this guy, Elemental Hero Shadow Mist, the new Stratos. When he's pitched to the graveyard from anywhere at all, you get to search a hero and put it into your hand. And when he is special summoned, you add a change quick play spell card from your deck to your hand. So when he's summoned off Goblinberg, when he's summoned off of 10 Goldfish, and when he's summoned off Summoner Monk, you get your mass change. That's a lot of targets to special summon him, and that's just great. He's an amazing card. You have to run 3 if you're running the heroes. He's just great. And then we run the double Summoner Monk because Summoner Monk, you pitch your hero lives, you have it in your opening hand. You pitch whatever you don't need at the moment to special summon your mist to get your mass change plays off. And then we run the triple Bubble Man, like I said a minute ago when referring to the 10 Goldfish. I like 3 Bubble Man. A lot of people say 3 is clunky. I do not agree with that, especially with him being level 4. He's pretty much always live with the extra deck. He's a great mass change target for your Acid and Fusion for your Absolute Zero. So 3 is great, especially if he's the only one in your hand when you make the Absolute Zero. Say you had 2 in your hand, mass change into 0, or mass change into Acid, Poly into Absolute Zero, and then special summon, now Absolute Zero is 3,000. Then we run the triple E-Call. Your Hero Searcher, standard, it's going to be at 3. It's a great card, searches all your pieces. 2 Hero Lives. He's not so bad late game because when you're at 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 life points, paying half your life points isn't a big deal. It's when this is your only play turn 1 that it becomes a problem, which is why I only run 2 because I don't want to see it turn 1. I'd rather it be something else. But you pay half your life points to special summon a level 4 low elemental hero monster from your deck. So he's not that bad, especially late game. He's actually, there's basically no drawback to using him late game. 1 Raigeki, you all know I love Raigeki. I run it in everything because it's that great. 1 Poly, because you can run Poly with Blaze Man now. Poly sets up a lot of extra deck plays that weren't there before Blaze Man, especially with the consistency of being able to search it off the Blaze Man. Poly is just an amazing card right now. Then we run Triple Rhoda, just 3 more searches for all your heroes, and he also searches Goblinberg, so that's just great as well. Double Miracle Fusion, no real explanation needed. It's always been running heroes, and it's probably always going to be running heroes. It really helps with Shining because it banishes to make Shining bigger. It's just a great card. 1 mass charge, not 2, not 3, just 1, because I feel like it's a little cloggy at 2 and 3, because you're not always going to have both a hero and a quick play in your graveyard simultaneously. Usually it'll be one or the other, and you don't really need to recycle everything, but it does help when you want to recycle. Double MST, not 3 in the main board anyways, because back row is not a huge issue for this deck. It gets through a lot of stuff. Triple Mass Change, the MVP spell card that is bringing heroes back. It's great. It sets up so many plays, and it sets up so much damage in battle phase because you're just quick playing out of everything to get more damage through and through. And if you have multiple copies of it, you can go Darklaw, you can go Anki, Darklaw, and that's game. So that's just amazing. 1 Bottomless because it's Bottomless. 2 Mirror Force because it's Mirror Force. And one Crush Card Virus. It is back. It has new effects, just like Ring has new effects. I actually built this deck so I would have an excuse to run Crush Card, because Crush Card hits Mist. Mist goes to Graveyard. You search the hero. You get the effect of Crush Card. That's just plussing for days. That's amazing. Excuse me. Oh, my bad, guys. I'm throat's a little clogged up. And then for the rest of the traps, we have one Compulse, bouncing things, of course. It is Compulse. It does what it does. One Vanities. It does what it does. After you set up your board, you make sure your opponent can't set up theirs. Double Fiendish Chain, because it's Fiendish Chain. It's a great card. And then one Call of the Haunted, just to get back your play pieces if you have the change but need a specific target, and that target's already in the graveyard. Call of the Haunted is actually pretty strong in the format right now. And I wanted the extra deck. We run the trinity of Castel, Silent Honor Arc, and Exciton Knight. Boom, boom, and boom. Amazing cards. I've run them in every deck so far I've shown you guys, because they're just that good. And then one Heroic Champion Excalibur to round out the Xyz plays. You could drop it for a Blade Armor Ninja. I prefer the Excalibur. Yes, Blade Armor Ninja is getting you an extra 400 points of damage, but that's only if the board is clear. 2200 is not very easy to get over a lot of stuff, especially in the format right now. With a lot of things that are at 26, 27, 28. That's a little difficult, and I like Excalibur just because he gets over those things, and that's why I run him. You could probably drop it for a Blade Armor Ninja if you really feel like you want to. And then on to the hero lineup for the extra deck. We have an Anki, because Anki is great, searches your quick plays, and it also can attack directly. But it only does half damage when it attacks directly. That's fine, because you go Anki, attack, Mass Change into Dark Law, attack again. That's just great stuff. One Nova Master, because you can run it now with Blaze Man and Poly both in the deck. He's an amazing card. I'm probably overhyping him just a little bit, but I think he's great. 2600 is not an embarrassing body at all, and he draws cards. He's plussing when he kills stuff. That's amazing. Shining because it's shining. He gets big. He clears boards. He destroys everything. He's just an awesome card. Double Acid and Double Zero. I really like having double both of these, because when you have Zero on board, you can Mass Change him. That sets off his Destroy All Monsters Your Opponent Controls effect. Bring an Acid, and when he's summoned, he destroys all spell and trap cards your opponent controls. That's awesome. It's a Dark Hole into a Heavy Storm. That's ridiculous. Especially during battle phase, you attack for 25, Mass Change, clear their board of anything you didn't already kill. Acid can now clear their spell and trap cards for another 2600 attack. That is incredible. One Koga, because it's Koga. You got to run it. It's the alias. I mean, it's the alias Mass Change. It's the Blaze Man Pitch alias Mass Change. He's great. He makes your opponent's beefy breakers just not strong at all. Banish a hero from your graveyard, which also makes Shining bigger if you have him on board, and when you do eventually get him on board, and then your opponent loses the attack equal to the monster you banished. That's incredible. Triple Dark Law, you could probably get away with running 2. I just feel comfortable with 3. It's the same concept as Lead Yoke in the Battle and Boxer profile I did a while back. You could honestly probably drop 1 for the Ninja if you wanted to run all of these plus Blade Armor. You could drop him for the Blade Armor. One of my friends actually does that. I just prefer the 3 for the security. And then I don't usually do a side deck, but I had one made for this because I'd been playing the deck a lot. It's a Thunder King Ryo. I know he shuts down your searches, but he also negates the special summons from your opponent. So if you do need to search, wait for your opponent to special summon, negate it, and then you get your searches off. He's just great. And you guys have to remember your sideboard is going to be subjective to your meta and who you're playing against. So really this is just my personal sideboard. I didn't really try to make it an all-around sideboard. So just tweak it to your guys' your liking and your specifications and your needs. Double Flying Sea. He's actually really, really great. Stops your opponent from Xyz summoning. I mean, that's just incredible. Max C, nothing to say about Max C. Everybody's special summoning right now. That's pluses for days. One Dark Hole in case you need some more board clearance. There's the third MST. 2 Twisters just in case the MSTs aren't getting the job done. You're not seeing them enough. You got the extra backup. The third Mirror Force. Same concept as Dark Hole, really clearing boards. Torrential, literally the same concept as Dark Hole, because it literally clears the board. Double Fairy Wind, because it's kind of like a Heavy Storm in a sense, but it's not exactly, because it only destroys the face-up ones. But it also deals the damage when it destroys them, so I really like that. And then Double Wiretap, only because Wiretap doesn't destroy, it sends it to the graveyard. So like, say you're playing against Volcanics or something, and they activate the Tri-Blaze Accelerator, you negate the activation, put it back in the deck instead of the graveyard, and they can't plus on you. So I think that card is just amazing. And that's it, guys. That'll do it for the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed the Masked Heroes. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys later.